All right, we got liftoff.
All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. XQC is white. All right, let's go.
Don't burn too much time in the opening.
Oh, maybe he doesn't realize that he's. Does he
That his game has
realize?
started.
Maybe he doesn't realize that the game has started.
I see his screen. It looks like he's thinking. Okay,
Okay, okay. We have liftoff. Okay, so E4, C5. Okay.
so he is not going to get to play his Scotch because Hutch is going for a Sicilian here. So he's gonna have to mix up his opening a bit.
Okay, so he plays Bishop B5. Very, very good so far.
Hmm. I don't know what line Hutch plays. Now we do. So he's going for D6 here. XQC has this pin. He can do very normal moves here and play D3. He can castle. He can develop his knight. He can't go wrong yet. He can
No,
trade.
I like this opening start to the game from XQC. He's definitely doing completely fine. Just has to castle the king and then bring the forces on the queen side into the game.
Right. I'm just highlighting those for chat. So Hutch playing very quickly. He has more than 10 minutes on the clock here. We got a lot of. Has everyone just been wearing black and white today? I don't know what's going on today. We are
I think,
trying to
yeah, I think
match
everyone has been. Yeah.
with our chessboards over here. Eventually, you just start playing the game so much, and those are the only colors you end up wearing. Chat. So be warned. G6. So he's preparing to bring his bishop to G7.
Mm-hmm.
And here I would like to see XQC continue development. He can also make pawn pushes, but I would feel better about his chances here if he prioritizes developing pieces.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, but I like what he's done so far. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now the one thing that I've said is he has trouble the one thing I've said is he's had trouble developing this rook and this knight on the other side. As long as he follows that plan, he gets piece developed. This will be a very good start for him. So I like what I've seen thus far. What his idea is here is going to be tricky.
Well, let's take a listen in on his stream and hear how he's thinking about the opening. Okay, so he wants to bring his bishop out, but Hutch will bring his bishop first, so he has to block. Ooh,
No,
the
if he
knight would have
wants
been
it,
better.
I'm taking it.
Both moves are fine, but the only issue with pushing the pawn is he has to see that he pushes the pawn in the center to d4, which is not going to be easy here.
Right, after he moves his bishop and he has that support.
Oh, he doesn't like that.
So XQC likes going for the early pawn pushes.
My queen takes.
Yeah, so far he's doing very
I have
well.
a
I like what
really
he's
good
doing.
crossfire for a
I like what he's
double-double.
doing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Takes double
Double
crossfire and
crossfire,
check
okay.
and double attack.
He's got his mojo back. He's confident. This is what we like to see.
No, I like what's going on so far. This is very, very good.
I blocked all 3 of his attacks. I blocked all 3 of his main plans. Now he has to wing it. And now he's on the spot because he doesn't think like that. He's a player that thinks one-dimensionally. He prepares attacks, and when the plan goes away, oh my god, what am I gonna do now? Oh my god! Bing, bang, bing. No. Don't be greedy. Play
You want to
chill,
see him
bruh.
push or develop first?
I want to see him develop.
Yep, I'm with you there. It just feels more likely to get him further. Less blunder opportunities.
Seven minutes, come on. Figure it out.
Are you worried about his clock situation at all?
A little bit, just because he has to play a straight idea. He needs to come with an idea where he can play the next couple of moves very quickly. In general, his position is completely fine, but he does need to have a little bit more belief.
Bang. I think I
All
like
right.
that.
I mean, it's still a good move. We just want to make sure he develops on time. So we'll see
Right.
how it goes.
So this is kind of the one issue is that the pieces on one side of the board are not developed in terms of the rook, the knight, and the bishop. But overall, I do like what we've seen so far.
Right. And the reason why you want him to develop his pieces, from your experience watching XQC, is that something he tends to forget?
Yeah, more often than not, he does tend to forget that he has to bring all the forces into the game, and with the knight, the bishop, and the rook undeveloped, there are going to be some issues down the road potentially.
True. And here the most natural move for Hutch is likely to just grab the pawn here, but it's not the most accurate one because then he does actually help XQC bring his knight into the center. He also creates these two isolated double pawns that are going to be under attack right away from the white knight.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the correct move here is knight to d5. But it's a difficult position. Both sides have chances. It's not really clear cut in terms of what's gonna happen. Okay, so Hutch plays
Mhm.
knight d5, which is an excellent move. And it's a little bit dicey already, potentially for XQC, because it's very natural to take this pawn here on d6, but when you do that, black takes back and then the rook opens up. So um
Hopefully he plays a move like d4, freeing up his bishop in case he doesn't fianchetto it, and also putting another pawn in the center here. And it does strike me like a move that XQC would see because he's used to doing it in the Scotch.
Right. I think certainly white has to play in the center of the board, but it is kind of dicey already. Tough position, very tough position. I think black is actually quite a bit better already if we're looking at the objective evaluation. I think the bar even says so, um, but it's a tough position for white to find a plan. And this is one thing XQC needs to remember to do is, I mean, probably he should put the bishop on b2 here. But fianchetto, yeah, okay.
Mhm, the fianchetto, yes, exactly. The bishop house, chat, the sniper house, whatever you want to call it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So probably he should do that. Or he can push the pawn. Those are really the two best moves that I see here. Um, but he's got to move. He's got to make a move pretty soon because he's already very low on time here. This is the problem. He's
I
used a lot of the time so far.
I don't like c4 because he is opening up his rook, which has no squares to defend with right now. Um, it's still a tricky move though, but if black plays something like knight b4, or he can even go knight f4. Um,
Hmm. I think knight f4 might actually be winning for black here because you have to move the queen, and then there's probably something on the diagonal. But
mhm.
whether Hutch finds it or not remains to be seen.
Okay, Hutch plays knight c7, which is also a pretty natural move, just moving his knight away. And now he has the opportunity to play bishop b2, so he doesn't have to worry about his rook getting trapped.
Exactly. And I think bishop b2 is definitely the best move here to counteract that bishop on g7, the dark bishop. So I think at this point, XCC is doing completely fine. I like his position. It's all pretty good. I mean, it's worse objectively, but he's doing pretty well, and he's not losing the game, and we're
Mhm.
already 10 moves in. So I'd be very pleased if I were XQC at this point in the game.
Yeah, we're on move 10. So let's see if he makes it another 10 onto move 20. We had a lot of doubters in the chat, but so far he's hanging on here. He just has to move faster. Knight
Hmm.
c3, also a good move.
Very good move. Yeah, very, very good move.
Let's take another listen on XQC stream.
He does that? No. Nah, I don't live in fear anymore. Because now, even if he threatens this, I can still move it. So now I'm not living in fear anymore. I can still threaten to do the same to him by moving upwards. Threatening this, putting his king in a very bad position for queen check switcheroos. Found him in a good spot.
I like that he's thinking on Hutch's time also.
His king has to take this. It puts him in a bad spot because then I can do
Now he
check
has to deal with the pin
switcheroos.
situation. That's going to be a little tough.
Yeah, like pawn to h3 is probably the best move here, but very hard move to find. Although I feel like I did tell him about this
Interesting
idea.
play here, interesting play.
And you know what? We keep talking about how h3 is a hard move to find. I think I'm just going to show it to every single person I coach from now on, just like a reminder. If you get
Right.
pinned, just kick that bishop out of the way. Don't worry about it.
Move. Move.
Ooh.
Take. He's got something under his sleeve.
Good,
So go for
very
it.
good move. Very, very good.
Does that? That's really fucking bad. But wait, isn't that checkmate? No, it's not. We're good.
Okay, that's very impressive.
Okay, my queen is in a good spot here. She loves this. No, but that's when he takes the pawn!
I mean, this is still fine. Because he's attacking.
As long as he takes with the queen.
Yes, yes.
I don't have much time. I take this. He takes pawn for free. Oh, we don't like free things.
Yes.
I have to. Oh, then I'm gonna double attack. No, I'm not.
I feel like he's psyching himself out a bit, and that's why he's playing so slowly.
Right. No, this is good. Okay, so now I can take the pawn on c6. He's still very much in the game here. There's a free pawn on c6 that he can capture. Yes, very good. Very, very good. Yeah.
Awesome play.
This has been good for, again, the one thing he needs to remember to do is bring the bishop and the rook
We're
in.
still tied up, and this is very good. Now I'm threatening a juicer.
So that
I bet he doesn't like that.
4 minutes on the clock, though. So,
Yeah, he's down on time, but he's doing very, very well on the board. I'm very, very pleased to see this. Again, the one thing he's got to remember is he has to bring that bishop and that rook into the game. He can't simply leave those pieces underdeveloped for the whole game.
right. And now Hutch is the one thinking. I mean, Hutch's plan now has gotten harder, and I think this is where even Hutch might have some difficulties finding a plan. Ideas like 96, 94, I mean, it would really improve the position and the placement of his pieces, which is actually something we talked about in our lesson in terms of general strategy. So as a coach, I would be very happy for him to make those kinds of slow improve the position of your pieces.
Right. But I think also Hutch is probably a little bit caught off guard by XQC's play so far because he hasn't actually made any major blunders. He's played very, very good moves, and at this point, I think I'm very pleased with what XQC has done. This has been a big improvement on the last game that he played. So I like what he's done. He's not worse. We're almost 15 moves into the game. Your prediction is definitely going to come true here. There's no way he's going to lose before move 25. So this has definitely been a big success for him.
There you go, chat. Doubters, you know where the door is. You know where it is. Show yourselves up. Okay, so Hutch taking his time here. If he gets even close to like 5 minutes and XQC is only down by 1 minute, that's a very good sign for white.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that the ideas are not clear cut here for black. In fact, like knight to e6 to d4 is the most obvious idea as a strong chess player, but otherwise it's not so clear like what else you can do, and it's not a natural kind of attacking idea. So I think right now it's important that XQC makes a couple quick moves. He should develop the bishop here. If he goes bishop b2 and then he brings the rook into the game, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, bishop b2, chat. That's the move we need to see here. He is protecting his knight so he can take back with the bishop. He won't double his pawns. He's developing his bishop on the longest diagonal, and he's freeing up space for his rook to bring it into the game later on.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So can't ask for anything better than 3 nice ideas in one move. And he sees it. Awesome.
Very, very nice.
Okay, and now again, Hutch has that 96, 94 idea. And if he doesn't play something like that, I mean, he can make slow moves like rook e8. Or
I
even
expect
putting his bishop
him to
back.
play rook to b6, honestly, to attack the queen. It's the move that makes most sense. Yeah, now XQC needs to remember to bring the queen backwards, not to the side of the board, to keep it in the center part of the board. Very important, because if he goes to the side, the rook is going to trap the queen.
Yeah, that's true. Because and the reason why I don't think about rook b6 is because okay, it has one threat, the queen moves away, and then the rook is on a poor square. But it does have a direct threat that XQC has to play against, and there is a possible trap.
Correct. So yeah, this is where any of the queen moves backwards along this diagonal are very important. I think he's going to find it. He's got 3 minutes on the clock. He's hovering over e4. Come on, man, just do it. Okay, f3 is also fine. Either way, just to not blunder the queen here.
Right.
Yeah, so
and chat, the reason why queen a4 is a blunder is because of rook a6. The queen is under attack. It can't go to b5 because of the knight. Can't go to c6 because of the rook. d7 the queen. e8 the rook or queen.
Exactly.
Very
Yeah.
sad trapped queen if it goes to a4.
Right.
All right, but he does see that he should bring the queen back to e4. So that's a good move. I think he's going to
Come on,
survive this.
Felix. Stop doubting yourself. Just do it. Just move.
Yes.
Good.
We told the doubters where the door is, but you need to get that self-doubt out also. Queen
Yeah, this is
f3.
very good.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, basically the main thing is probably queen e4 is objectively a better move, but it's just mainly don't make a blunder that's going to end the game here. And so far, I think the great thing about the position is that it doesn't really lend itself to big mistakes because it's a very closed position. Both sides have a lot of pawns on the board, so he should be able to see the next couple of moves here pretty quickly. Like bring the rooks to the center of the board, and I like what's going on. I really do. Bring the rooks to e1 and d1, and that's absolutely perfect.
All right, well, we're bringing XQC's audio on. We're not changing scenes, but we're going to be able to hear what he has to say. Or his tunes. That's good too.
He's getting too low. No. Not nice.
Is this too aggressive?
Develop your rooks, please. Please develop your rooks, please.
He's hovering the rook, Hikaru. I think rook d1 is going to happen.
Why is he moving there? Why is he moving there? Why is he doing this?
Yeah, either rook move here is it doesn't really matter. He just got to trust himself and move one of the rooks.
Oh no. Why did he f me over?
Move the rooks. Move the rooks. Move the rooks.
Why do you think that these kinds of moves are tough to see? These kinds of positions.
Yes,
he just moved
Where's
the rook,
where's
so
the
nice
move?
job.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's so hard. I think it's
that's not a good play.
I think it's that he doesn't trust himself. That's the main thing.
Okay.
Not much time. It's not a great move, but we have to do something. It's not a great move. It could have been better. Way better.
Wait, did you just some ASMR there for you, chat.
I don't have much time. I'm gonna have to go really fast here.
Okay, I like that he noticed it doesn't matter if it's the best move or not. He just has to be fast. That is the right attitude to have.
Right, yeah, he needs to put the other rook in the center of the board as well. But this has been a very, very good game. I'm very, very pleased. So now he moves the other rook over to e1. I think is what his idea should be, and I'm not even sure that he's actually he's much worse here.
Oh no, his bishop.
Unfortunate. However, it's still only two pieces for the rook. So bishop takes bishop, you play knight takes rook, and it's still not clear. It's still not clear. I do expect Hutch to take the bishop, but Hutch may take the knight. So there's a lot going on here.
Right, and if he takes the knight, then he shouldn't capture back. He should capture the bishop. It'll look like a position in the puzzle rush he was just practicing. Okay, so
Right,
Hutch saw the right move.
Right. So now, of course, you take the rook. Yes. Now the key here is to bring the other rook to the center if you can.
Yeah, a move like rook e1. We're getting to 20 moves soon, chat. So he's certainly putting up a good fight, a long game. He survived the opening, and even the middle game is interesting despite usually you want to be the side with two pieces. Hutch is technically worth a pawn worth in material, but it's still complicated.
Exactly, yeah.
He's thinking here.
It's got to move. Yeah. Queen b7, good move.
Yeah, it's a move that doesn't create any weaknesses, and I think that should be the goal for him. So don't push the pawns in front of the king right away necessarily. D4 is just hanging a pawn. A4, I guess, technically is okay as well.
Yeah, this is very good though. This has been a very, very good start from XUC. And even now, I mean, Hutch is already down to 3 minutes as well. So there is a possibility of blunders. I know with Hutch, I think he tends to be one of the slower players, and so we haven't really seen him with very little time. Okay, he plays knight a8, which is not a move that I like.
The queen trade, are you happy with that? Does it, because it reduces, chances of getting mated or serious blunders, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I don't dislike it. Obviously, in a general sense, it's very difficult for XQC here, but his moves become easier. Hutch is starting to use more time, so it's going to be an interesting finish here because anything can happen.
We're going to go to XQC full screen.
Okay.
Oh. Come on, we can do this!
putting some pretty good bangers on today.
Yeah, he's everything is yeah. The music's been good. The chess has been good. This has been very enjoyable so far.
B4, interesting decision. Fast moves. That's what I'm impressed with.
Okay, good move. Just develops his king next move to G2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, rook A7 is a very good move here for black, but it's a very hard move to find.
Hutch took with the right pawn, otherwise his rook was in trouble. Hutch also speeding up. XQC actually plays pretty well in time pressure. He hasn't made mistakes yet.
Yeah, and he's also a little bit lucky that it's a very simplified kind of position. Very few pieces on the board as well. So this has been a good game. It's been a very good game. A4 is a good move too.
Taking A4, yeah, I like the ideas he's considering here, and I'm impressed that he got his king to a safe square too. Very important for the endgame.
Right, and he sees the pawn A5 push next move, so this is also very important.
I know,
if Hutch
man.
finds rook A7, it's very difficult to play, but it's not an easy move, and Hutch missed it a few times already.
True.
So, oh, A5, 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 come on, A5.
Oh,
he saw
no.
the idea, he saw the idea. Okay,
It looks like he's gonna push G4 here, yeah.
Oh no, he takes,
No, it's still...
and even takes, and he's just gonna push up. Nah, you dude, it's my game. I'm not gonna play around what he does. I'm gonna play around what I want to do. I lead the game. I'm the commander. I'm the chief. I'm the warlord. Who the is you, man? And Mike Andy, dude. He's bringing his back like weird champ.
Oh no, Hutch saw rook A7. Oh no. Oh no. Oh!
Check. No, he takes. Oh my god, I didn't think about that.
Well,
it's okay. It's okay.
There goes the rook.
It's okay. It's okay. Relax. Relax. We're still in the game. It's okay. I'm still in the game. Does it matter? Yeah, it does.
Okay.
A lot? Not really.
Brutal.
Well, we're still listening in on what he has to say.
Still, I honestly though, in all seriousness, very, very good game by XQC. Even though he's gonna lose, a very, very, very good game.
Right. I mean, up until that blunder, he had played so many accurate moves, even with time. Oh, okay. One more blunder.
It was already lost at that point.
Yeah.
But
I don't have time
honestly,
to play.
joking
I'm
aside,
GG.
very,
We lost.
very,
No, we didn't.
very, very good game from XQC. Held in there. He hung in there for a very long time. And if he had seen this pawn push to A5 instead of pawn to G4,
Yeah,
it would have been
I
very,
guess
very
it's all about time. It's all about time. I didn't have enough time.
Very, very
It happens.
interesting.
I was under pressure, dude. I think I can think. It's only because of time. In a normal 15-minute game, I would have
But
won this.
certainly, out of 3 games I've seen XQC play, this was by far and away the best game that he played, without a doubt. Absolutely the best game. Not even close.
And that's a big compliment, given that he also had to come back from such a tough loss last game. So for him to play this well and have that attitude, I'm the commander,
Yeah.
I'm chasing the candy. I respect that attitude a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm very impressed with the way he played in this game. Obviously, a very difficult situation to be in, certainly, but Queen H1 is obviously checkmate here. I don't really see Hutch missing that move, but all in all, I thought this was a very well played game by XQC, and it's a tough loss, but this is the best player in his group, so I thought he played a very good game.
Absolutely. And he's checking his analysis right after.
It's all because of time. It's all because of time.
And
dude.
yeah, he's just
It's
talking about time situation, what was very difficult for him.
Time,
And
Andy.
usually, what time control does he mostly do on stream?
Dude.
He normally 10 minutes, I think, with
It's
5
all
second
because
increments,
of-
or he plays bullet chess with 1 minute. He does both.
Got it. Well, it takes some time to adjust to the fast time control. And I did show the move that you were talking about instead of G4. Where was it? Okay, right here. So when XQC played G4, the idea we were talking about is if he had seen A5 here, it would have been a lot trickier. Black
Right.
can't take, the rook is hanging, and after rook takes pawn takes b6 at some point, or you can even just keep the pressure here, then at least you're not going to end up losing that extra pawn. And if you open up these two files with the two rooks, you might get some kind of counterplay.
Yeah, I mean, basically you double the rooks, and it would have been very difficult for Hutch to convert this.
Mhm.
Basically, Black has to bring the king all the way over, but it's very tricky, and I'm not sure that Hutch would have found it with the limited time on the clock.
And he did get Hutch very low on the clock. I mean, at some point, Hutch also only had 2 minutes. So, it was
Hmm.
impressive on his part as well that he was able to play quickly and accurately. But we do expect that from Hutch. He is an experienced player. He's very strong and one of the top players in this tournament. So, congratulations to him as well for this play.
Right. Yeah. It was a good win for Hutch. Very solid throughout the game, and no real major mistakes. So I thought it was also impressive from Hutch. Only issue for Hutch was, I thought, the time usage. Like, if he uses too much time, it could affect him in some of the matches in the champions bracket potentially.
Well, we'll take a quick break and then we'll be back with player interviews chat. We are live. We're here with Hutch. Hutch, congratulations for that really nice performance there. And XQC put up a very good fight. It wasn't he overperformed.
He had me nervous. I missed his pawn take on f3, was it? No, I was black. It was
C6.
C6. Yeah. I missed that. And once he got in there with the queen, I got a little nervous with the pawn side pushes on the queen side, but it ended up being okay because I think he blundered pretty big at the end there.
Yeah, once he got into the time pressure, he did end up blundering. But we noticed that you were also taking your time. At some point, you were close to 2 minutes when he had 1 minute. Were you nervous at all that he might pull out an upset?
No, I was actually taking your advice just to slow down and look at the board for a good minute or two, just to make sure that I have a decent understanding of what's happening positionally.
Mm-hmm. And you
Yeah.
did that very well, especially, and I'm going to pull it up on the board, when you brought your rook to a7. So you saw the semi-open file, you put pressure on his weak square, and I think that was one of the key moments when then you were able to bring your pieces back into the game.
Yeah, I was having some trouble figuring out how to reactivate my knight. Like, he obviously hates that's like the worst position for a knight on the board because you can only attack two pieces or two squares. But I didn't want to have my knight pinned to my rook. I was worried about that. And so my decision making had to do with just avoiding that.
Yeah, that's very fair. And I mean, you already knew that you were most likely going to make it to the championship bracket because even if you did end up getting an upset, I think you only needed a 3.5% accuracy to move on to the championship bracket, which I'm certain you would have been able to get.
Okay, yeah. My chat was telling me just to offer him a draw, and I said no.
Oh, you didn't want to be like Voy Boy?
No. Well, I get nervous with the math, and you can't trust my chat, so I just decided to play it out.
No, that seems very fair. And Hikaru, who is Hutch going to be paired up against in the next bracket?
Nate Hill.
Against Nate Hill. Okay, so do you have any predictions for your match with Nate, or what you're thinking your strategy should be there?
I think I'm gonna win. I'm just gonna play it by ear and figure it out.
I mean, you are the rating favorite, and he's been playing for less time than you. So I think, just playing your solid chess does seem like a very fair strategy. And then if you do win that game, you're going to end up playing the winner versus Nim versus Papa Plata. Nim, currently the higher rated opponent, but you would also be a likely favorite in that situation.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm trying not to get too overconfident, but I'm preparing for the championship match, for the final match. Yeah.
And so who would you hope to go up against in the championship match?
Anybody but Voy Boy.
Anybody but Voy Boy.
But I mean, I would like to play him though, because he is a good player, and I think I would have fun playing him regardless.
And have you guys done any practice games at all?
Not even a little bit.
Oh, wow. Well, Hikaru, do you have any tips for what Hutch should focus on in the training from now until?
Well, I actually had a more general question, actually, which was so you've been on Twitch longer than most other streamers, and I think you've been playing chess for a very long time, even on stream. So I was kind of curious what your take is on all of this, and many years later, I mean, since you've been on so long, how you feel about seeing chess explode like this.
Oh man, I'm so thrilled. I think chess, I think chess can be such a positive force in people's lives. It's like doing mental push-ups. It teaches you pattern recognition. It can help with your memory. It can help with your confidence because it's something that if you work at, you will see improvement, and you'll notice it in really big ways. I think, especially when you're at the lower level, because I think it's a bit easier to jump 200, 300, 400 points when you're like 800 or 900 rating. Yeah, I wanted this to happen a lot sooner. I think we spoke about it before, but I'm honestly shocked that it hasn't happened sooner, because chess has such a huge, massive global audience. So I felt like it was only a matter of time, and I'm glad to see it blowing up right now. I think it's a really, really good thing.
Well, we're lucky to have you as part of the blow up. Thank you so much for the interview, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.
Good luck.
All right, take care. So we got the 2 brackets here. Do not leave yet, chat, because we are bringing on XQC for an interview, and he'll get some more encouraging words from Hikaru after a very fantastic performance, the best of his PogChamps so far.
Yo.
And we have Felix here.
Hey.
And I think we're switching scenes now. Well, welcome, Felix. Thanks so much for joining us. Hikaru, let him know how you felt about his game.
Yeah, I thought out of all 3 games that you played in this first stage, this was the best game by far. You played a lot of very good moves for the first 15, 20 moves of the game. No major mistakes, and then once you got low, some mistakes occurred, but still, overall, you played very well. So I thought it was a good performance.
Okay, thanks. Dude, how do you even attack? Like at the end of it, like how do you even do anything that does anything? I feel like you're just running in circles.
So basically, Alexander, can you go to the position before you played knight d5?
Yeah. Here we go.
So there are 2 points. So first of all, in this position, this is the first point I'll point out. The way that you want to play here is you want to open up space for your rooks on these middle lanes, basically. So the way you would do that is you move the rook over to this dark square to start with. Let's just say black, I don't know, pushes. Can you play h6, Alexandra? And then you would play like knight to a4. Trade the bishops. Let's just say black moves the rook back to b8. And the way you play is like, what you want to do is open up space for your rook so you can push the pawn forward here. And you want to open up these files for your rooks to attack on, because your rooks are perfectly placed here.
Okay.
So basically the hardest part of the game is, once you develop like the knights and the bishops, is how to bring your rooks into the game. And you want to have them on these open lines, basically. That was the first thing. And then one other thing that you mentioned it when you were doing your analysis much later. Can you go to position instead of g4, Alexandra?
Okay, right here.
Right, and so you mentioned this on your stream, and then you didn't do it. Was that you could have pushed this pawn here to this square on the side of the board? Because if pawn takes pawn, you take the black rook.
Okay, pawn takes pawn, takes black. Yeah, that play.
Yeah, because you actually mentioned it before he pushed his pawn forward 1 square in the center of the board, and then you lost the train of thought and you didn't play it. But this would have been a great move, and you would have been in the game and had a chance to win. Because if your opponent just waits here, can you just play king e6, Alexandra? You can then push both rooks.
I thought if I took pawn, he took with knight, then I'm baited.
Right, but the point is you don't actually take the pawn. You can actually put more pressure on this pawn by putting both your rooks on. You can stack the rooks here. Like rook b3, Alexandra.
Yeah, I was just moving arrows, but I can also play the moves. Let's say king d6, and then you bring your other rook into the game also. So now his pawn is still pinned, and you're putting even more pressure on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this was a pretty sneaky plan to play. I know that you were talking a lot about the time pressure. Do you think that was the biggest factor in the end game there?
Yeah, honestly, listen, I don't have that mentality very often, but I was like, dude, I made it this far. I'm glad, dude. Like, this guy's like a higher rated Andy. Like, dude, I'm like, dude, I was falling apart at the end. I feel like there was too much to think about. I was like, in 1 minute, there's no way I can sit. You know, if you do those puzzles over and over again, you kind of build those like patterns, like you see it happening in front of you, like a carpet rolling down, right? But I don't have that. I have to manually think, and that's a lot. Dude, thinking is expensive. And I have to think and have to like, you know, it takes time. And with a minute 6, I was like, dude, there's no way I can think every turn and actually do better than he will, because he sees the carpet already rolled out, yo.
I mean, you're playing against a higher rated opponent. So the fact that you were able to go so far, not make any serious mistakes in the opening, and then only choked at the end when you had very little time is super impressive. That was one of the best possible scenarios in the game here. And we were talking about it before as well.
Mm. Yeah, this kind of idea like when you're low on time or with fast chess, is that like thinking is an expensive maneuver, right? And every time you think, you kind of lose. You kind of like every time you sit down and you actually think, and it's not like already pre-planned ideas, or whatever, you lose on time, and then it's more expensive and more and more and more, and then you can think even less, right?
And actually, you were talking about that in the middle game too, at some point, because you weren't sure how to make progress when you just brought your rook over to d1 when the position was really close, and you actually came to the correct conclusion. You said something like, "I don't think this is the best move, but I have to play quickly," and that's what you usually want to do when you get to about 2 minutes. Just make decent moves that are fast instead of trying to look for perfect moves.
Yeah, it's why my mental I was going to full mental boom, because then I was like, you know, he has time and he sees them coming, you know, it's like, oof, but it's okay.
Yeah. No, I was just going to add, like, in general, though, the one good thing is if you play like this, you certainly are going to have a chance in the upcoming bracket. Are you looking forward to playing against someone who's about the same level that you're at? Because in this game, this was someone who's played a lot more chess than you have.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna lose this bracket, right?
Yeah, you're playing against Fuseli in the first round. So, are you excited to play against someone where you're going to have legitimate chances to win? Fuseli.
Who's Fuseli?
Her rating is around 800, so you guys are very similar rating wise.
Oh, it's okay. I'll do a little bit of a practice, a little bit of puzzle, a little bit of coaching with my main man. My man Hikaru did.
Okay.
And
cool.
Flusely will not be a challenge. We'll move that. Listen, I've been around competitive scenes long enough. Okay, I've committed enough. No, the losers bracket, it's no stress. You go to losers bracket, it's part of the process. It's part of the commitment. You go to losers bracket, you're grinding all the way up, and people don't see you. You're in the shadows, in the sewers, and by the time they forget, boom, you come out of the sewers, first place, rank 1. Seen it before.
Exactly.
That's the attitude we want to hear. Thank you so much for being here in the interview, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your games in the consolation bracket.
Yep. Thanks so much for having me.
Sure. See you.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, that was such a nice note to finish up on. He's going to be taking on Fuseli June 17th at 2 p.m. Pacific. So that's 3 days from now, chat. Make sure you're following Chess.com on Twitch just so that you know when these games go live. And, you know, not just because I'm here as a commentator and I have to say this or I'll get fired. You better follow chat because I have a quota. And if it doesn't get completed, then I'm out. My job safety is on you. No pressure. All right. Well, Hikaru, thank you so much for being.
that was a lot of fun. Honestly, today I think was one of the best. I think certainly one thing that I really enjoyed, not just today, but also I think it was yesterday as well. Just seeing like I mean, technically, even though E-Rob won the game yesterday, of course, I mean, Voyboy is being generous, but when you see people like E-Rob who really struggled in the first 3 games, and you see someone like XUC who struggled, seeing them have this positive attitude and sort of being able to smile, realizing that they're gonna have a shot in the losers bracket. It's just great to see, and you feel like there's going to be a redemption arc in that bracket. We don't know who it's going to be for, but I think for sure we're going to see the redemption arc. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely. So with today, we have our completion of the 4-player 4 groups. We are now going to move on to the brackets, chat. It's going to be even more exciting because players are going to get paired with people closer to their rating range. So we're going to see some crazier, closer games. Chat, hang around because we are rating XQC. Go show him some love, you guys. Thanks so much, everybody who tuned in, and take care.